Hello, everybody. You're very welcome along to Leeds Bros for player ratings, and probably going to be a brutal player ratings as Leeds United have lost 3-0 away from home down in the AMEX Stadium, and again continues to be a very, very unhappy hunting ground for Leeds United in a very poor performance for the Whites on the road. Throughout the course of this player ratings, we're going to give every single player from the starting 11, subs, and Daniel Farke a rating out of 1 to 10. And then it'll be over to you guys in the comment section below to let us know whether you agree or disagree with myself and Dylan's ratings. As always, guys, please make sure you're dropping a like on the video. And, of course, hit subscribe to the channel as well. I'll go for some of my ratings, and then Dylan will go after that. So we'll get straight into it. First up, Dylan is the goalkeeper, Lucas Perry. And I'm probably going to be a little bit critical of him today, Dylan. I think I'm going to have to go with a 5 straight out. Again, his kicking was worrying for me today. Very wayward pass there for the back. He was fine when he was going a little bit longer. Overcommitted for the first goal as well. The third goal, similar thing as well. Moving towards the front post, trying to block the cross. I don't understand what that's about. Didn't cover himself in glory at all today for me. So a 5.
Yeah, I went with a 5 myself. He made a few routine saves. He looked shaky, obviously, off the back with his kicking. A few loose ones at times. He looked shaky as well at time when it came for crosses. He couldn't do much for the goals to a certain degree. As I said, he made
I
one or
don't
two
know,
good
Dylan.
saves.
The first one and the third one, Dylan, he had overcommitted.
But the first one, definitely, he shouldn't have. He came out way too quick. He was in no man's land for them to slot it away. But I mean, certain individuals in the defending aspect of it, they didn't track that man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't inspire confidence either. So no, 5 for me.
Yeah. Moving to the back line, then we'll go with Jayden Bogle first. And yeah, I'm not happy with Jayden Bogle today, lads. I went with a 4. I thought he struggled on both sides of the ball defensively and uncharacteristically going forward as well. I thought he was poor going forward as well today. For us, he'd one opportunity with a ball across the box of Calvert-Lewin, and Calvert-Lewin should have made more of it. Other than that, I don't think he affected the game as much as he could have. And I actually thought James Justin looked a little bit better when he came on, looked a little bit brighter than Bogle. For their third goal as well. I don't know what he was at when he tried to clear the ball and it dropped down to Rutter, and then Rutter obviously runs in and does his thing. But poor from Jayden Bogle today, Dylan, at a 4, well below par.
Yeah, Darren, I have to agree. I went with a 4 myself. I think within the first 20, 25 minutes of the first half in general, I thought he did look all right. To be fair, he was getting up and down, not doing anything much with it, but he looked like an outlet for Leeds. He was trying to get up, he was trying to make an impact, but nothing kind of came of it. He had a hard time out on the wide side with the Brighton players. They just gave him a hard time. And then, as you said, that bit when he went to clear the ball, he just made an absolute hash of it. Made a complete tick of it, and then they were in. He didn't offer anything, to be honest with you. So yeah, I went with a 4 as well. I have to agree.
Yeah. Let's move into the centre back pair, and we'll go with Joe Road on first, Dylan. I thought he defended well at times. You get what you get from Joe Rodon, gets his head on the ball a lot. But for the third goal, Dylan, I think he was involved in it as well. He was much too soft, or let it run through his legs. Yeah, he should have done a little bit better for the third goal for me. Middle of the road from Joe Rodon, Dylan, a 5 today. Very ineffective as well from what we've seen well from set pieces as well. Wasn't really getting his head on much for us today in the box attacking wise. So 5. Yeah, not good defensive display from the whole back line today.
I think I agree as well there, and I'm going with a 5 as well. I think, usually he's solid, usually he's compact, and he's the man, the warrior, as we could like to call him. This time he just got dragged around a lot by Brighton's movements.
Do you think, look, we'll explain a little bit more on talking points tomorrow night, but do you think it might have been a little bit to do with Bial, Dylan? Because it felt like for me at times he was trying to cover Bial, and the pace side of it, he looked uncomfortable. We'll get on to Bial next, but I think it probably leads in with Bial being his partner today as well.
Quite possibly, but then even at that, he lost duels in key areas at times as well. So, for me, so it's, look, a 5, I agree.
Let's move on to Bial, Dylan. Yeah, he had a decent display against West Ham. Not today. He looked fearful of the pace that Brighton had going at him. He was poor, really, really poor for me. Probably abysmal, to be honest with you, lads. And for me now, he's at the losing his place. Pascal Struijk has to come back in against Forest, and we said that this is going to be the ebb and flow. You keep your shirt when you get it. For me, the way he played today, he's lost it. So Struijk comes in for me. But for Bial, Dylan, I'm going to go with a 4. He was bad. He was bad today for me.
We seem to be on the line here at the minute. 4 for me as well. He looked very uncomfortable when pressed and failed to lead the line. And then, running ragged at times. And when the ball did come to him, he'd do the most silliest or no pace behind the ball pass, if that makes sense. It just looked us very uncomfortable. And as a fan watching it at times, I just felt nervous with him at the back. So
Yeah, Sam.
a 4 for me. Yeah,
Move on to good Munson, Dylan. He had
moments.
he had some good moments, didn't he, as well? But for most part, he was nullified going forward as well. Couldn't really get going forward from what we usually seen from him. And then as well, I think it was a second goal where he gets done for as well. Just a pure quality. But not a particularly bad game from Good Munson today. But just again, it's the whole defensive display. I think we were way off. So I went with a 5 for Good Munson. Middle of the road, didn't do anything spectacular. So yeah, 5.
I'm going to go with a 4 for good Munson.
Ooh.
Yeah, like he
I think he was
probably
as
the
bad as
best.
Bogle, yeah. I went with a 5 because I thought he was a little bit better than Bogle.
He was definitely a little bit better, but I think simply how we played, I think everyone's going to get a low rating of me, considering no one really
Yeah.
grabbed it or done anything with it. I thought he got not constantly, but at times exposed. Obviously led to that goal. And then just poor time making as well. But I basing off the first half again. First half for me, I thought he was the best out of a bad bunch,
Yeah, I thought the
considering
first
how
half,
well we
yeah.
were. So
Mm.
it seems to be a regular thing now going forward for Leeds. Is the first half we seem to be maybe trailing the game, but fighting our way back into it when nothing comes of it, and then you're. The likes of Bogle or Munson are kind of the ones to get up and down the wings to look to make put a ball across the box, but it's never the finish behind us. So yeah, I went with a 4 for Gabby.
Yeah. Okay, Dylan, let's move on then to our captain, Ethan Ampadu. Dylan, Jesus, he was bad today. I'm just gonna call it as you see it, lads.
Horrendous.
He was well below standards as a captain, as a player, as a leader. He had really poor moments in the game today. In possession, defensively wise, to try and get us going. About 10 minutes left to go. The camera went to him and he's clapping, trying to rev them up, and it's far too late in the game. And Dylan, I went with a 3 for Ampadu because, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was. It's horrible saying it because I do like Ethan Ampadu, but God, he was bad today.
It's very bad. Yeah, I agree, Darren. I'm going to go with a 3 as well. I thought, at times he has a rare day where he might be a bit off it, but today was certainly one of them. Thought he was outnumbered. He was overrun in midfield. His defensive awareness was poor.
Passing as
I
well.
thought his
Yeah.
attacking, like I'm just digging into him here, I don't care. I thought his attacking, he didn't do anything for us. He didn't push us up. He held the ball too much. And then, as you
Picked up
said,
the
there,
yellow card as well for the frustration as well. Yeah.
his passing was absolutely abysmal today. I am not happy at all for a leader of his quality to be, yeah, as you said, a little too late to rev everyone up. And I just thought he was absolutely shocking today. His passing itself was the main key. He's meant to be one to dominate that midfield. So I have to agree there. And I went with a 3. And to be honest with you, I think he's quite lucky to be getting the 3.
Yeah, I thought he's probably for me the worst player on the pitch, and that feels harsh, but it is what it is. Dylan Sean Longstaff. Again, look, I really like Sean Longstaff, but he was below par. Dylan, he was really below par today. I went with a 4 for him. His corner kicks were poor today. He'd one free kick that he blazed over the bar. Didn't work the goalkeeper. His passing, he gave it away a lot of times as well. And I think it was the right decision to hook him off because he was poor. He was poor today, so I went with a 4 from him. He needs to get back on it.
Yeah, 4 as well there. And he tried to press at times, but Brian just, passed around him easily. Couldn't really dictate tempo. Set pieces were shit. His corners itself were dreadful. I think he had 2 free kicks. One he bloomed over the bar, and then the second one, if I'm not mistaken, straight into the keeper's hands. Didn't look like the revved up Longstaff that we've seen in the past. And then, obviously we'll get on to Anton Stack, but it's a question to be had in that midfield because I'm sick and tired of saying it about the 3 in midfield that they're going to dictate the game because they're doing absolutely jack shit with it. So, I remember the 4 for Longstaff. Very, very disappointed with him today.
Tanaka, Dylan, both of us were calling for it in our preview for Tanaka to start this game, Dylan, and probably the best out of that 3 in midfield. For me, that started the game, I gave him a 6. He's busy, what you get from Tanaka. He keeps the ball well. I actually thought at times he fed Okafor really well down that left-hand side. He really tried to tap into that creative side. I think Tanaka knows that Okafor is the creative spark in his team, so we tried to feed him as much as he could. He gave us a small little bit of forward impetus when he was playing that forward role, and then he seemed to drop like a little bit deeper, but he never really kind of created that, spectacular. So, it'd be interesting to see who Fark's going to go with now in the next game against Forest. But not all bad from Tanaka today. I went with a 6.
went with a 6. I went with a 5 for Tanaka. I thought certainly in the first half that quick kind of sharp tempo football he was trying to dictate. As soon as he got it, he was looking to move it on, and if he wasn't going to move it on, he would definitely go back with it at a quick, as I said, quick tempo, and that's what you want to see from that sort of player in midfield. Yeah, he looked at Okafor an awful lot. He tried to get in behind with a few passes. He got a few tackles in there as well. But the negative side, when just before he came off, say 10, 15 minutes, he went anonymous for me. He failed to progress the ball at times or even track the runners. But yeah, I'm basing on the first half. I thought he done similar to Gabby, the best of a bad bunch.
Right, let's move on then to the forward three. We'll go with Brendan Aronson first on the right hand side. I thought he lost a lot of his duels today, Dylan. Probably as expected, dropped below the performance of what we've seen against West Ham. He gave the possession away a lot, did win a couple of free kicks for us, but wasn't really a factor in us going forward. Didn't create much, obviously, what you'd expect from a winger. And then he was moved into that number 10 role as well when we made a couple of substitutions. We reverted back to the 4-2-3-1 from what we seen last season, but didn't really affect the game. I went with a 5, always lack of effort, so you're always going to get a couple of points out of it for Brendan Aronson. But yeah, 5, Dylan, didn't create going forward and lost the ball a bit.
I went with a 4. I thought he was, he done the run, he done the work hard side of it, but it didn't really do anything for us. Yeah, he won a few free kicks, but that's really it. I thought he lacked that kind of quality in the final third. Decision making at times was a bit laxy daisy. He held onto the ball a bit too much. So at certain times he had that flair about him. He makes it look good. He makes it look like he's doing the hard work, and he is to a certain degree. But today, no, not for me. I went with a 4.
Number 4. Move on to the left hand side then, Dylan. Noah Okafor. I felt like he had a threat. He's obviously Leeds' most creative player. Feels like he's the one that can kind of drag us with the pitch and make something happen. He felt like he had the beating of his man all day without really having anything on his end product. There was a couple of times where he had chances to put the ball in the box, and he decided against that. And when he did put the ball in the box, it didn't seem to be quite right today. But not the worst performance from Noah Okafor. I just, anytime I see him play, then I just feel like he's not fully fit or something. I feel like he's not match fit yet. Every time, and I kind of feel this today because I was expecting a little bit more out of him. It's always like, feels like we kind of get him up to pace and then he gets injured again. Then he's working his way back from a niggle, and we need more out of him. We need to be fully fit. So not bad from Okafor. I went with a 6, but and we know he can do better than that today.
He would be my best out of the bad bunch of everyone.
Yeah.
He was this the highest rating I'm going to give, and I have to agree it's going to be a 6 as well. I thought he was the only one, certainly throughout the whole game until he came off to show real intent. His dribbling itself, he looked to attack, he looked to kind of create. He was that spark, as Matt said, obviously in the halftime show as well, and he looked to create. But I have to agree with you, Darren. It's like that we're lacking something in. He's lacking something. Sorry, whether it's confidence or fitness or wherever it may be. But the negative side of it, there's still no end product, and that's what worries me. So, that's the highest rating he's gonna get out of me today is a 6. I want more of him though.
Yeah. Right, let's move on to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He really got the better of his man, Dylan. I felt today, again, at times he felt like he was isolated up there. He held the ball up well a couple of times again from what you expect from Calvert-Lewin. And then the particular time where I'm a bit disappointed in is we spoke about earlier on with Jayden Bogle when he delivers that ball into the box. And I don't know why he didn't throw himself at the ball. It was a real chance for Leeds United. He should be throwing his body on that as a striker, trying to get on the end of things, and he didn't. Poor game all round, and I actually felt like when he went off, we'd get on to Meche. I thought Meche provided more than Calvert-Lewin in the few minutes he was on. So a 4, and again, then I don't know if it's down to him or the game state. Not a good game from Calvert-Lewin for me today. And obviously talks now that he's meant to be injured as well, that it was an injury, the reason why he was forced off. So that's going to be an interesting one, Dylan, to see what type of injury it is and how long it's for.
Yeah, I went with a 4 as well. I think he was starved of quality service. Apart from that one that you just said that he should have threw his body at. But I'm at the stage now where I'm kind of saying he's starting, but there's nothing coming of it. You go back to last season when it's similar to Pirro and Joseph. It was one of them who was going to grab the jersey, and they certainly done it. And it seems to be, whether they're not doing it at training, whether it's Metro or Pirro,
Yeah.
But I'm kind of getting uh, just fed up now with the fact that DCL has to start, because for me today, I just didn't think he done enough to make things happen for himself or the team. I don't know. I'm just a bit. I think it's time for a rotation of players. Yeah, that's it. I have to go with a 4.
You think if you're taking DCL out, then I think you have to change the system. But we'll get into that tomorrow night in talking points. We'll
Yeah.
delve a little bit more into it tomorrow night. Anton Stack then, Dylan. Yeah, he looked okay when he came on, forced to save out the keeper when it was the first chance from Meche drops out to Stack and he has the shot. Probably is going to start the game against Forest, to be honest with you, because how bad Longstaff was and Ampadu in there. So I think you might see Stack coming back into the game. The game was probably gone though, Dylan, by the time he's coming onto the pitch, and you're asking a lot of a player like that to come on and change a game like that, especially how much Leeds were chasing the game. So, decent enough from Anton Stack. I'm gonna go with a 6 from him.
We went with a 5. He looked. He didn't do, what would you say, a proper game changing moment. He wasn't a game changer for me, and that's what you want to see
Chase.
when when you want to see players of his quality coming on, whether it's confidence, whether it's the injury with the finger or whatever it could be. Um, at times I thought, he was certainly getting involved. He was breaking up play really well, but then Brighton were just tippy tapping it around at the back at times, kind of hard for him to get into the game.
The game was
But
gone.
yeah,
By the time
yeah,
he comes on, the game's gone.
I think a 5 for me anyway, and
Yeah.
I'm delighted to see that he's getting minutes back in the legs again.
Yeah. Right, let's move on. We'll go through the substitutions fairly quick because I don't think there's much you can quite read. And probably apart from Lucas Meche, Dylan, who for me, as I said, arguably probably Barton, Dominic Cavalier when he comes on has that chance, forces a good save out of it as well. Really kind of work the lines. And as you said, maybe is a time for change. Maybe does Meche start up front against Forest? Do we change the system altogether? But he was definitely Barton Cavalier when he came on for me today. So I went with a 5. So he gets a mark higher than Cavalier, so a 5.
He worked hard when he came on. He gets a 5 for me as well. He was trying to do the hold up play. He was trying to knock down, bring DJ into the game or Brendan Aronson. Just not enough minutes or match sharpness for me when it comes to Meche. I think that's where we're at. But he had one moment where he took 2 touches. The second touch just before he shot it went a bit wide from me. Kind of closed the angle of the ball being slotted down. He still got a shot off, but that simply could be down to match sharpness. But same thing, he didn't really impact the game when he came on for me, so 5.
5, yeah. Moving on then to DJ Dylan, and again, it kind of seems like we're saying this every week now. It's good to see him getting on and getting a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
To get out DJ tries without anything really coming off from today. I don't know what to think now with DJ because it's rumbling on a while now. Dylan just coming on and getting kind of charity minutes towards the end of the game. It's going to be interesting to see how his season is going to develop, Dylan, because I think he needs to get back into this team as soon as it starts trying to be a little bit more creative for us going forward. It's a bit of a head scratch, Dylan, isn't it, with DJ? So I don't know what's going on. Like, again, is he still fully fit? Is he still carrying a knockout? I'm not too sure what's going on. But I just have to go middle of the road because, again, he didn't really create anything, but it wasn't for the want of trying. So middle of the road for him, I'm going to go 5.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it's when they're coming on that late in the game, it's hard to judge unless they score a goal or get an assist, making impact when they do come on. And it seems to be hard to judge these players that are coming on in the 70th minute when we are trailing a game or when we lose a game because they just don't make an impact. The game's over, as you've just stated. But same thing again. It's a bit annoying to say it again, but it's great to see that he has minutes in the game, minutes in his legs. But I want more from him. Whether he is carrying a knock, whether it's just match sharpness or that little lack of quality. But I expect more of him. I want more of him. And I went with a 5. I feel you could see at glimpses at times he has that kind of explosiveness that he brought to the championship last season. But then it's a different league, different teams are up against different formations.
Still doesn't look
tactics.
fit. No. Still doesn't look fit.
No.
We'll move on then to the last 2. So Jack Harrison, Dylan, for me, just I don't know, I just don't get it.
I forgot he was on the pitch.
I'm gonna go 4. Just nothing notable. Couldn't make an impact. You're bringing him on, chasing the game. It's the same thing with Jack Harrison for me. I just went with a 4, Dylan. Do you want to kind of go through it really quick? I don't get it.
I just give him a 4 as well, but same thing, Darren. To be honest with you, I said it during the watch along. I forgot he was on the pitch. He didn't make any impact. He didn't even get on the ball. So, yeah, not good enough.
Yeah, piss poor. James Justin then Dylan as well, as I said, comes on a little bit better than Jaden Bogle. Again, you're at the game state, you're bringing him on and that. I went with a 5 for him just because he was better than Bogle, really. But again, what can he do in that the circumstances he's coming on in?
Yeah, look, he done a job. He done what he needed to do. So at time he did get caught, but he made up for it. You get the player going behind, but yeah, I have to agree, Darren. I think every time that he does come on, he does do well and he can do a job there. But I think under the circumstances, if we have been winning this game or looking to get the final goal, it would have looked better on his behalf. But because we were losing 3-0 and because of the performance of players around him, including Bogle, I think it's hard to be too critical of him. So I went with a 5.
Yeah. Let's move on to the gaffer then, Daniel Fark Dillon, and I can't be too critical of him because the team selection is the one that I wanted. Just a really bad first half shown from Leeds United, and then you're looking to the manager then to change the game in state, housing game management, and again, then I think it's poor. Subs does come on a little bit earlier. He obviously brings Stack and DJ on a little bit earlier. We reverted to the 4-2-3-1. My only criticism of it, Dylan, is I looked at the Pirro situation. You have a goal scorer on your bench. You need goals, and you're not bringing them on. And it probably is getting to the stage now, Dylan, with Pirro. If he can't even come on in games like this when we're chasing games looking for goals, when is he ever going to come onto the pitch? So, yeah, I don't know. Daniel Fark, Dylan, it always seems like he's 1 or 2 results away from being under pressure. Feels like there's going to be a little bit of pressure now on that Forest game. Loses that, all the questions come up about his job again. So, has to turn it around again away from home. Leeds United we were feeling and looking very championshipy side at the minute. So he needs to change. He needs to figure out a way away from home to try and start picking up points in a row, because we can't fully rely on Ellen Road all the time now. So he has to change. I went with a 4 from Daniel Fark. It's backs against the wall from now. It's a big game against Forest for him again.
I think the lineup kind of, watching the video that you done, I have to agree. I think the lineup was spot on. So you give him praise for that, because at the end of the day, you can only go with what he's working with. And obviously with the hope of the interview that he done about certain individuals coming back from injury. So that was the positive. So you could look at it going, well, at least we're starting to kind of make moves here. There's more players being involved. But yeah, Darren, you hit the nail on the head. In-game management, no plan B, trailing and more or less chucking on players for the crack again. No plan B, as Stephen stated in the comments as well. And I'm kind of just at the point now as well. It brings us back to the DCL situation where, if you're taking DCL off to change the system, well then do that, because it's not working what we're doing at the minute.
Yeah, well, he did though. Then he did. He reverted to the 4-2-3-1, which I didn't think he was going to do this season. Okay, go on. Give us your ratings. We won't get into it too much. We'll save that for talking points tomorrow.
I went with a 4.
4 as well. Right, lads. That is it for player ratings. Yeah, look, obviously not going to be a good one. We can't beat around the bush. We know it's probably a little bit negative, but I think you have to be in these circumstances. We knew Brighton was always going to be a tough game away from home. And let's be honest, we probably knew a defeat was on the cards for Leeds United. But again, it's the manner of defeat. You go down there, you try and give a good account to yourselves, and Leeds United were anything but that today. So the players have to have a really strong look at themselves. The manager has to have a strong look at himself. And I do feel sorry for that travelling support down there. But we will get into it a lot more tomorrow night when the dust kind of settles. We'll rewatch the game, and we will be back tomorrow night at 8:30 for talking points. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, and of course hit that subscribe button as well. So try not let it ruin your weekend. So mind yourselves, mind each other. Catch you in the next one.